Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Ready, Set, Read. You might have seen the title and you saw that it said, staying afloat in your reading. And you might be questioning, what does that even mean? You might think that I'm going to teach you how to read and swim at the same time today. You might be thinking that I'm going to teach you how to make books float. You might be thinking something else crazy, but no, none of those are correct. In order to explain what I mean, I'm going to use something called a metaphor. A metaphor is a literary device that it's when you use a concept to explain something else, but they're not actually related, right? So we're going to be talking about reading, but I'm going to tell it to you using the metaphor of swimming. And so to do that, I'm going to show you a short clip of my son Archer swimming. Archer learned to swim this summer. Previously, he was swimming with a flotation device we called a swimmy that made sure that he stayed afloat. But this summer, we took it off and he learned how to swim on his own, using his own muscles and arms and legs. When he is swimming on his own, he has a rule that he has to stay close to the edge. As you saw in the video, when he jumped in off the side, he was close enough to the edge that he could just kind of hop up and grab the side. If we didn't have that rule, he might just try to swim out into the middle of the open pool and he wouldn't be able to touch and he wouldn't have the stamina to sustain that kind of swimming and he might sink to the bottom. Now here's where the metaphor comes. In the same way that we want Archer to stay around the edge of the pool so that he stays safe and has fun during swimming, I want you to read books that you feel safe with. If you are reading books that are way too hard, it would be like being in the middle of that swimming pool. It wouldn't be fun. You might drown in your reading and it would just be a big mess. On the other side, we wouldn't want you to be sitting on the side of the pool reading really like easy books. So you want to find books that are within your reach. When we think about finding books that are within your reach, there are two things you want to consider. The first is that they are books that are about at your reading level. Books that aren't too easy, but they're also not too hard. You may have learned in second grade some strategies to make sure that you're reading books that are just right for you. Some of those strategies would be read a few pages. If you can understand what's going on, then go for it. That book is just right. Another strategy would be the 5-finger rule, where you read a page and if there's 0 words that you don't know, so if you know all the words, that book is probably too easy. If there are 5 words or more that you don't know, that book is probably too hard. But if you're finding like 2, 3, 4 words that you don't know, that's probably a just right book. That's called the 5-finger rule. When we consider finding books that you're interested in, it's really up to you knowing in your heart what kind of stuff you like. Don't waste your time on a book you're not interested in. You may think I'm the best teacher in the world because I say, hey, read whatever you want. But it's true. Why would you spend time reading a book that you're not interested in? If you are a dog person and you really don't like cats, why would you read a book about cats when there are so many books about dogs? That's a way that we make sure we're reading books that are within our reach. They are something that we are definitely interested in. As I wrap up this lesson, I want to hit back on this metaphor of the swimming pool. Don't put yourself in the middle of the pool when it comes to picking books. Don't pick books that are too hard or books that you're not interested in. Give yourself books that are within your reach. When you stay close to the edge in your reading swimming pool, you make sure that you're reading books that are just right and you have interest in them. This is how you'll stay afloat in your reading. Now it's your turn to go and practice what we've just talked about. If you think that you have a book that puts you in the middle of the swimming pool, Don't read it today. Hold off. Make sure you're reading books within your reach. Another thing, let's just give a few snaps for how amazing my videos are becoming. I am really stepping up my game with my production. Woo woo. Happy reading!